Everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is Wednesday and it's time for another recap of Married at First Sight. This is season 11, episode 5, and it was titled The Honeymoon Begins. Alright, y'all, so let me tell you, I was excited to see this episode, okay? This is how the other episode should have been. I understand we needed to get the information about the meeting of the family members and yada yada yada, but y'all know, like I know, those other 4 episodes dragged, okay? But this episode right here was good. It had a lot of entertaining aspects of it. We didn't get to see Christina and Henry a lot, praise God. It was a good episode. I don't know how y'all felt about the episode, but I guess y'all will let me know down there in the comments how y'all felt about the episode. But I loved the episode. We got to see a lot of Mexico. We got to see them interact some more. We got to hear, about their past. We got to just see them in a different atmosphere, a different environment, and see how they were going to gel well together. And we also got to see all of them together, like all 5 couples together, kind of communicating and stuff like that. So I enjoyed the episode. Let's jump into it. It opens up with everybody waking up. Now, this is day 3 of the marriage, okay? Everyone is waking up. They're doing their video cams and stuff like that. Amani and Woody, I just enjoy them. So right off grip, my favorite couples are Amani, Woody, Amelia, and Bennett. I should have said Amelia and Bennett first because that's the order they are. Amelia, Bennett, Woody, and Amani, and Karen and Miles. But I'm gonna let y'all know right off grip that they kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna get to it. But anyway, Amelia and Bennett, we see he orders some breakfast for her and stuff like that. Amelia is loving him. He's loving her. He's having a good time with her. She's having a good time with him. She's saying like she's so lucky, to be in a relationship with him. They're just talking. He feels the same. She asked him why he wanted to go on the show or do this or whatever, get married and stuff. He was like, because YOLO, you only live once. And she was like, wait, what? And he was like, YOLO, like you only live once. She was like, that's not what that stands for. It stands for you only live once. And he was like, what? Huh? Like he was dead ass serious. Like he really thought it stood for you only live once. I mean, that's cute and everything. But she was like, I mean, it's an acronym. Make it how you want to make it. Like, I accept that or whatever. And he was like, well, like, he was still trying to make it a thing, child. When he did that confessional, he was like, well, I thought it was like you only love once. But I feel like this is the right journey to say that you only love once and stuff like that. So it was cute. Like I said, they are freaking cute together. Karen and Miles, they were just talking over breakfast how they never lived with a partner. Now he's lived with a female roommate, but they weren't like romantic or anything like that. So neither one of them have lived with partners. And she was kind of, worried about that. How would it be if she wanted to take like a time out or something like that? Did they need like signals or something? So they were kind of just discussing that and stuff. And then they kept showing the resort, and the resort, oh my God, let's talk about that for a second. The resort is beautiful, okay? I, of course, had to look it up because me and Bae is planning our vacations for next year. God willing, like, let's put it up in the air, y'all. Put it up in the air that we get to get out of our states next year. So we was looking it up. The resort is beautiful, but the price, it's like right now on Expedia, it's like $5 something a night. I'm like, not for Mexico. Like that resort is beautiful, but not for Cancun, Mexico. I can't see myself paying $500 and something a night to go to Cancun, Mexico. Like if it was somewhere else, like I don't know, Aruba, Belize, like somewhere like that, then maybe, because those are bigger places. Cancun is mostly like spring break area, stuff like that. It's a lot of tourists, people there and whatnot. So maybe the prices is high like that now because a lot of people are not traveling. So maybe like in the future it'll be a little bit lower. But right now them prices, I'm like, I can't see myself paying $500, $600 a night. But the resort is freaking beautiful. Like they can dive off their freaking rooms into the big pool, and then they had like the cave areas to where they could just like lounge and chill. Like you feel like you secluded, but you in this big resort. Like I really love the resort. Like it is freaking beautiful, like beautiful. So they picked another good spot. Next, we see Christina and Henry, child. It was quiet time. And then child, did y'all hear him say he thought that they was getting along very well and everything like that? And I was just like, but he was like, it's not, like, what do you say, Amani and Woody's relationship, because they got real good chemistry and stuff like that. And she was like, well, don't compare our relationship to other people's relationships, because that can ruin, the outlook of your relationship and stuff like that, which is true, because you can't compare to what someone else has, because you don't know, like, what is to come, or what they had to go through to get there, like, or such, you know what I mean, like, what they have in common, or, you don't know what is bringing them together close like that. So she was right in that aspect. But I was like, he seemed like he is enjoying himself. He like, they vibing well, they doing all. I'm like, where, Henry, is y'all doing this off camera? Because when y'all on camera, it's like quiet city. So what? Like, I just was just like, is he watching the same thing we watching? But she was saying like, she doesn't feel any different from 3 days ago before they got married and stuff. And she understands that he's shy and whatnot. So she's trying to understand that and trying to be more open and, just trying to show him a good time. And she's trying to have like a better outlook on things, because she's saying like, once we get outside and get some vitamin D, maybe we'll, be able to open up, talk a little bit more, communicate a little bit more and stuff like that. So I kind of like her viewpoint on it, and I like how she's talking or being patient with Henry. I do appreciate that. However, like, Henry needs to do a little bit more, and I really don't think he is going to do that because of what he said when they was all together. And we're going to get there, because I kind of feel bad for Christina. Like, what was the experts thinking? Like, but I can see like she gonna pull him out his shell, and then he gonna do things. And he even said that later on. He was saying like, she can teach me things that I may not know. Or did he say that there? Yeah. So he was saying like, he's gonna he can see how she can pull out stuff, and how he can be a good balance for her, so they can balance each other out. But right now, Henry is not giving us nothing. We see Woody and Amani, they're at the bar. They was, getting drinks and stuff like that. Then they was like off to the side, and they was talking about sex. And she was saying she's not that experienced. She hasn't had a lot of relationships where she's, been vulnerable enough to have sex with a person. And how could he teach her or be a good coach? And then, of course, Woody all like, oh, yeah, I'm an expert at that. You gonna love it. Like, I was just like, she was like, look, reel it in. You was doing good. They're reel it in. But they have a good chemistry. I love their chemistry. I love the way they're like bouncing off each other. I love it. I love them too. Then we see Brett and Olivia. They were just talking like, he's a morning person, she's not a morning person. She is enjoying him, he's enjoying her. They're, talking about relationships and stuff. He was telling her like he last dated somebody 2 days before he was matched or whatever. And she was trying to figure out like, well, what would have happened if, because they went on like a second date or something. And she was like, well, what would happen if it was a third date? He was like, well, it wasn't, because I got matched or whatever. But he was saying like she had the potential to be in something or whatnot. So I was like, her last relationship was 3.5 years ago. And he was like, that was a long time for her to like take a break from dating and stuff like that. But she wanted to get, a better sense of herself or whatever. She wanted to get to know herself, focus on her job, focus on her before she jumped into a new relationship. His last relationship was a year prior to him dating, well, like his serious relationship, because like I said, he dated somebody 2 years ago, but not 2 years ago, 2 days ago. But he last dated someone seriously a year prior or whatever. But then we know he was a serial dater, and with episode 1 or 2, he said he dated like 40 people or something. So he was just boom, boom, booming. And that's because his heart was broke because the girl cheated on him. And then we found out later on that the girl who cheated on him, they were engaged to be married. And she not only cheated one time and he forgave her, she cheated twice. And so he was like, it's a wrap or whatever. I said, what? Who was this hoe? Like, Who was this hoe, child? I cannot. But what else? Let's see. But yeah, I didn't really like the fact. Well, I guess I don't know. Like that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way that he dated somebody 2 days prior to him getting matched or whatever. It's like, did he not think he was gonna get matched? That's why he was still dating, or I don't know. Cause well, I guess. But he said he knew the girl prior. Cause she was like, well, did you know her? It was like some random person. He was like, well, for me to be dating her, I had to know her or something like that. So it was just kind of weird. I don't know. What did y'all feel about that one? Imani and Woody and Amelia and Bennett, they met up in the pool. They're just swimming and stuff. They having a good time. It was funny because Woody was like, Bennett all out here in his drawers and stuff all around my girl and whatnot. He ain't got no baby, no swim bottoms and stuff. But he was like, but it's Bennett, so I'm not offended or nothing like that. Cause he's just out there, so I'm not offended. And they just had a good time. Woody ended up losing his ring in the damn water, child. But Imani, she wasn't mad. You know, she was just joking like, well, I guess it's over now or whatever. And he was like, well, I'm just going to be on your hip. I'm had to be attached to your hip and stuff. And let's let everybody know when we walk in the room. Look, I'm married. This my wife. Like all this other stuff. So they're gonna have to get a new ring. But it seemed like everybody's rings was a little too big, because later on we saw that Henry's ring was too big for his finger. And what's that girl name? Karen not finger. Her ring was itching her finger, so she might be allergic to the damn thing. But it seemed like everybody's ring was slipping off. So do they not size the rings before they put them on or buy them and stuff? I mean, they have enough time to size the rings and get them rings that actually fit. Because the last season, who lost their ring last season? I can't think of who lost their ring. But somebody's ring fell off last season, and I think they did eventually find it. But this seems to be like a thing, like the rings just flipping off and falling off. I need them to do better with sizing these damn rings. What else happened? We saw Miles and Karen. They're getting along. Miles is making her feel more comfortable. She's still saying like it's weird, but she's going with the flow. And they had like some weird little pet thing where they was calling each other my stranger and all this other stuff. I don't know. That seemed weird to me. Like, I don't know. It just seemed weird. It seemed like he was being complacent and just doing anything to make her happy, because that's making her happy because she's still uncomfortable with him. So just by saying like, oh, my stranger, that's gonna make her feel comfortable, so I'm gonna go along with it. I'm gonna feel comfortable. But to me, it seemed like he really wasn't all that comfortable with saying, oh, my stranger, this my stranger, stuff like that, and this my acquaintance. And I don't know, it just seemed like kind of off and shaky. What did y'all think about that? I don't know. To me, it just seemed like he was just trying to just go along with her to make her feel comfortable, but he was not feeling very comfortable himself with it, and I didn't really like that part. We seen Christina and Henry. I wrote Christina and Henry on my paper just because I was trying shorthand. But anyway, Christina and Henry, child, it's Henry's first time for everything, child. And Christina gotta let us know. It's his first time kayaking. It's his first time traveling out the country. It's his first time with a passport. It's his first. I'm like, girl, we know. Henry ain't been nowhere. He ain't done shit. Okay, we know, Christina. You ain't gotta keep telling us. But they go kayaking. They running into the wall and stuff, and he was having a good time. Like, he was saying like, I think this was the most we heard him talk in the confessionals, child. But he was saying like, she was actually messing him up. So he was just like, well, I'm going to just have you chill and relax while I do the work, while I take the lead and stuff like that. So it was cute. It wasn't like he didn't tell her like, look, you messing up, girl. Like, just stop. I don't need you working. He did it in a cute way. So I thought that was really cute. She wants to swim in the water. He like, yeah, no, I don't know about that, because I don't even know if I can swim. And she was like, well, we got the life vests on and stuff. And he was like, let's just stay in the boat. So they did that or whatever. And then she was saying, like, she said to herself, sometimes I'd be like, does he even have a pulse? And he was like, well, who says that? That's kind of rude or whatever. And she was like, oh, no, that's what I just say to myself. And he was like, oh, okay, because I thought that people were saying it about me. And I'm like, we are, Henry, we are. But you don't know that. But he getting out the kayak. He falls out the kayak. So that was, I mean, in their own little strange way, they had like a good time on that kayak, child. But yeah, like I said, I need him to come on now. And this is when he said that she has the potential to push him in ways he needs to be pushed. So he sees that. So maybe that's why they matched him up. But I'm still like, something is really in my eye. So if you see me blinking extra hard, that's because something is in my eye. But yeah, I just really need Henry to kind of come out of his shell. Like, Henry, let's go do something, child. Who is Olivia and Brett? They were out there swimming and stuff, and it was cute. I was like, the water must be cool because she easing into that thing. He was just like, well, look, I'm wet. It's good now. She was like, I'm gonna take my time. So he likes her. He's saying like she's kind, she's compassionate, she's beautiful, she's fun. They're having like a good conversation in that little cave area where the little cheers were. And it was a cabana, but it wasn't a cabana. It was just like a carving out in the wall or whatever, the resort. I don't know. It was really nice. It, like I said, it looked like they were secluded, but they really weren't. But they were talking about their childhood, how they grew up. He had a community pool. They were talking about how they had to be home when the street lights came on, stuff like that. They were just having like a good conversation, good vibes. It was everything good there. I told y'all about Woody losing the ring, and after they got out the pool with Amelia and Bennett, Woody and Amani, she was like, you want to take a shower with me? He was like, oh yeah, okay. So then they taking showers and stuff. I said, okay, yes. Then we see everybody meeting up. So it's like a good, cute little support system and stuff like that. Brett and Olivia said they're having a good time. Woody tells the crew that he lost his ring and stuff. Woody asks everybody as they vibe, and they kind of go around the room. They're all admired and enamored by his relationship with Amani. So they're like, I just love the way y'all just kind of gel, how y'all just, vibing, like y'all have good energy and stuff like that. And then Olivia was like, well, I like my husband too. I was like, girl, calm down. They was going to get to you. But Brett said he likes his wife and they're having a good time. Henry had some concerns about Brett. So he was saying like, in a confessional, how Brett was a different person at the, I'm about to say the baby shower, at the bachelor party. And y'all know how he was acting. He was just acting like a douche. Like, really, just horrible. And so Henry was concerned. He was saying, like, Olivia is a beautiful person and stuff like that. And the whole time I'm like, Henry, you need to be worried about how you need to communicate with your wife and not worry about Brett. Don't worry about how Brett is with his wife. I understand you a little concerned and stuff like that. And that's understandable and whatnot. Because, you saw how he was acting at the bachelor party. But right now, if he's good with Olivia, then he's good with Olivia. Let Olivia and Brett worry about their relationship. How about you worry about how you need to talk to your goddamn wife? How about that, Henry? And then they go a lot. Child, let me get to it. So, let me try and go in order, child. But Bennett funny. He was saying like the main thing they arguing about is who put water on the floor. I was just like, all right, whatever. And then Karen said she likes Amelia and Bennett as a couple. And then that's when Miles and Karen started talking about graduating from being strangers to my stranger and all this other stuff. And then Karen had to kind of clean it up because it just sounded weird. Like, And she was like, well, it's someone like, how you're familiar with this person, your barber, or you're familiar with this person or that person. Like, he just seems like he's familiar, but I don't know him or whatever. So we're trying to get to know each other or whatever like that. And Christina says she feels similarities with Karen because they're kind of like both kind of scared, both unsure and stuff like that. So she kind of understood where Karen was coming from. And I was just like, all right, whatever. They started asking about intimate questions, how they having sex and stuff. Imani tells them that they took a shower together. Brett and Olivia said that they, as a team, decided not to discuss those topics with, the group or whatever like that. Bennett understood and stuff like that, but he was like, I still want to know. But they have like, but they were saying like we have chemistry or whatever like that. Everybody was saying like it's no real big rush that they got have sex because they're married, so it's going to happen when it happens, basically. Christina and Henry, child, they look like they were so. And at first I was thinking, oh wow, this is the first time we come into where they meeting as a group. and we don't have any real issues with the couples or whatever. Because remember last year we had Michael and Mika, they had major issues when everybody kind of met up and stuff like that. So I was like, oh wow, this is the first time we don't really have anyone having any issues. But then I was like, oh dang, Christina and Henry haven't really spoken, and they don't have issues per se, like they're not fighting or arguing or anything like that, but they have issues where they're not communicating, they don't really know each other like that. They are still like really strangers. The way they was even sitting on a couch, you can see it really wasn't a lot of chemistry and stuff. And Christina and Henry was saying like they still trying to work it out or figure it out and stuff like that. And Amani, in her confessional, she was like, like she did. I was dying. And then the way when Christina and Henry kept talking, and Imani and Woody kept looking at each other like, these people lying. Like, really? They ain't got no goddamn camera. They was, oh my goodness, they was just talking in code and whatever. And I really love it. That child, because that is me and Bae. When somebody's talking, we like, we just look at each other and we already know what we already know what we thinking or whatever like that. Each other is thinking. So for them to have that kind of chemistry in 3 days is freaking awesome. But Christina was talking about they communicating a lot and all this other stuff. I said, talking where? What? Can we film this, producers? Can we get y'all to film this? So I was like, oh, this whole line, she is lying. What kind of conversations is y'all having? But Henry was saying like they trying to take it at the pace and all this other stuff. Woody was like, in his confessional was like, I don't know, they just have like a weird type chemistry. I don't really see it and stuff. And so somebody had asked them like, do you think that I think it was Amani. She was like, do you think that they matched you well and stuff? And she was like, well, in my thoughts, Christina, she was like, in my thoughts, I was thinking like, why did they match me with him? But now I see when we were like just kind of getting to know each other and talking, and I'm like, when is y'all talking? Like, when is y'all getting to know each other? Like, I just, child. And then Christina was saying like she's kind of jealous of the progress that everyone else is having and stuff like that, and I could see why she would feel like that, because it seemed like everyone around them has like this good energy, this good chemistry, even Brett and Olivia, and like she and her and Henry are just sitting like this. Like, it's just weird. And then what I thought was strange, and this is why I say that I don't think Henry is going to come out his shell, that is because he was saying like, because they was like, well, why did you come on here or whatever, like, and he was saying like his brother talked him into it, and his brother was telling him like, go ahead, do it, like, you need to go get out your shell, get pushed out. And he was like, yeah, so I don't usually do stuff like this, I don't usually take the risk and stuff. And he was saying like he hasn't even went up to women in bars to ask them out or date them or anything like that. So Woody was looking like, what? Like, they was cracking me up with their expressions. So that's why I'm saying like, I don't even think Henry is going to come out his shell. But I have hope that Christina, if she is willing to stick around, that she will be able to push him a little bit more, because she is saying like she's the aggressor and she's not usually the aggressor in a relationship. But right now she has to be, because Henry is not, he is not going to take that step. Not at all. I don't see it happening. And I think that was it for the whole meeting and stuff, because the next scene we see was Karen and Miles. They're roasting marshmallows. Olivia and Brett have their little matching shirts. Henry and Christina, they're taking pictures. Amani and Woody, they're taking pics. And Amelia and Bennett, they doing like rooster impersonations and stuff, child. I was just like, okay. So then we see Amani and Woody, they on their like first date type thing. And it's real cute. They're vibing, and they're she's saying like he's her friend, but they get to kiss and do other things and stuff. So it was cute. They was talking about the other couples. They was talking about sex, and they were talking about how their relationship and their energy is right now, and they haven't even had any sex right now. So she can only imagine like what it would be if the sex is good, how they'll just be connected and they just want to, keep having sex and stuff. So she doesn't want to rush it, because she doesn't want all their relationship to just be based on sex. And I understand it because they have a lot to learn, because it's not like they dated for a long time or anything like that. So they still have to learn each other and whatnot. So, them just going right into it to have sex, that could potentially shift the relationship, and it could only be focused on sex instead of all the other stuff that they have to kind of focus on. So I kind of see where she's going. And she was telling them how she did have, because remember, I was confused. I was like, well, who had the 5-year relationship and somebody was married? So it was her, who the guy she dated, he was married or whatever. So she was telling them how the guy was married, how all her other relationships, the people have cheated on her and stuff, and she just felt like she wasn't enough for them and stuff. And he said that he did stuff in his past, but he's grown and he's married now. He's going to do right by his wife and stuff. And she's saying like she is enjoying their connection at this time, but she's still kind of scared. And basically she's waiting for the other shoe to drop type thing. But she said that she's going to give her all. She's not going to hold her past relationships against him, because it's not his fault that those other men was raggedy. So she going, put her effort in, do whatever, be not more vulnerable, but be as vulnerable as she can with someone that she just met 3 days ago, but she's going to go through the progress. So I really enjoyed that part, because, some women, myself included, when you in that bad relationship or whatever, you kind of look at people differently. Like, I can't trust that person. I don't want to talk to that person and stuff like that. And you always looking for like other shoe to drop, like, they nice right now, but what they finna do? And when you do stuff like that, you close yourself off. Like, you don't put in the effort, and you don't even see that you're not putting in the effort until that person tells you. And then you're like, oh, damn, yeah, I am doing that. So I applaud her for saying that she's going to be vulnerable. She's going to put in the effort. She's going to do the things that she needs to do to make her marriage work. So I really appreciate that. And he was like, willing to go at her pace and all that other stuff. So I really like them too. Karen and Miles, they were saying like they are graduating from my stranger to my acquaintance, and like he was really loving this whole stranger thing. And again, I'm still feeling like he's just saying it because it's making her comfortable. Like, I really don't feel like he is comfortable with that. But I think they were at lunch. Yeah, were they at lunch or dinner? I don't know, but they were somewhere, child, and they was talking. And he was saying like, no, she asked him why did he think he was ready for marriage, because remember, he's 26 and stuff like that. But he's a mature 26. It's not like he's like a young shit. It'd be some 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds who just as immature as they want to be. So, but he's mature and stuff. So he knows what he wants. And he was saying like he wanted to get married because he wanted to be that special person in somebody else's life. He wanted to be like his grandfather, and his they had a marriage for 55 years, and he wanted to be like his grandfather and be like make his woman comfortable, be supporting for his woman, be like all these good things. So she was saying like her last relationship, the dude cheated, and he had a child on the person that he cheated on her with or whatever. She was like, yeah, that was too much. That crossed the line. And she was saying like, but she knows she did some things wrong because they could have had more communication, more honesty. And he was saying like, he knows it will take a while for her to get comfortable, but he's willing to, be patient and be at her pace and stuff. And then they were talking about relationships and stuff. And he's been in 10 serious relationships. He's only 26 years old. And she said she was only been in 2. Now, what did she say, 2 or 4? 2. And she was like, and I'm older than you. So she's worried that he's a serial dater or a relationship hopper or something like that. And I was thinking like, that's a lot. Unless he's counting his teenage relationships. And how long was these relationships? Like, was they like a year long, 2 months? Like, how long was these relationships? Because 10 serious relationships at 26, that do seem like a lot. I don't know. What y'all think? But I was married at 19 and then divorced at like, 30 something? No, 28. And then, I don't think I had like 10, like I'm 40 years old and I haven't had 10 serious relationships. Not serious, not serious relationships, no. That seemed like a lot at 26. Just do. But to each his own. I don't know. And I'm just trying to figure out like how long was these relationships though. But later on he said that because she brought it up again, and later on he was saying like he just found some good women and he wanted to kind of settle down with, and when he dates to marry somebody, so he gets to kind of know them and all that other stuff. He doesn't date around and all that other stuff, so that's why his relationships, he had so many serious relationships. But he's saying like he dates to marry, so if it doesn't work out and he doesn't see that potential to marry that person, then he just kind of cuts it off and moves on to someone else. So I was just like, so is you just like dating? That don't really sound like serious. I don't know, because that just don't sound, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think down there, because I was just kind of like, that's interesting. Amelia and Bennett, they getting ready for bed, child. He put on his little dress or his little nightgown. They both had a great day. They're in the bed. They're talking about their childhoods and stuff. And he was saying like he grew up in the suburbs, and he his mom had him in theater a lot. And she had cancer when he was growing up, and it shaped him. So he had long periods where he would think about mortality, and it brought him like great angst and stuff because he was always thinking about death and always thinking about losing his mom and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of sad for him to always have to think about that. But luckily she survives because she's still here and with us and everything. So that's a lot to go through as a child, though. To always think like you're going to lose that person that is able to take care of you, that stability for you and stuff like that. So I just felt bad for him. But it seemed like, I mean, he's, grown, and I don't know. He's a weird one, but like he's still functioning in life and whatever. So yeah, but that is kind of sad to always think about, your mom dying and stuff. But Amelia said that her mom worked a lot. Her mom went to med school and she was a resident, and so her mom wasn't around a lot, but when she was around, she was super excited to always see her mom. And her mom was present, like in the moment with the children and stuff like that. So that was good. Brett and Olivia, child, they just talking, and I couldn't take him real serious. I was like, is he really being serious? Like I think he was joking. I don't know if he was joking, but it seemed like, because he was calling her like, because she said she pee in the shower, basically. So he had a problem with her being in the room when he's peeing and stuff. He doesn't like that. And then she was saying like she peed in the shower, and he was like, well, what are you, an animal and stuff? So I think the way he was saying it, he was joking about it, but he had like a serious tone to it too. But they was just kind of chatting about stuff like that. She found it cute and quirky. I was just like, whatever. Then who is in? Oh, Amani and Woody, they chilling on the hammock. They talking about the date and how they enjoyed the date. And they're just talking about looking back on this situation as good memories. And she asked him how he felt. He said he is enjoying everything. She is enjoying everything. And it scares her still how comfortable she is with him and stuff like that. He was saying like somebody said something about, it was him. He was saying like in his little cam or whatever, like the showers be good, and he done knocked another belt off the notch and all this other stuff. Or was that yeah, that was his confessional cam. And he was saying like how he thinks they might bowchky wow that night and stuff like that, but he ain't gonna rush it because that's his boo, and he gonna take it slow and stuff. So I was like, that's cute. The morning time, she wanted margarita. He like, it's the morning time. She like, we on vacation. He was like, you right. And then he tells us they didn't have sex, but he's closer to, he's knocking notches off the belt and stuff. So that was real cute. It's a new day of exploring and stuff and discovering new things with their partners. Henry and Christina are going to play in the mud. Like I said, his ring was too big, so he's not going to wear it. Olivia and Brett, they're doing like a, what was it? Oh no, they were eating breakfast and stuff. And that's when we found out he was engaged and that the girl cheated. And then she said she has been cheated on too. And then she was kind of concerned about him being a serial dater and stuff like that. Then we see Amelia and Bennett, they taking their morning swim. They had on matching little bathing suits and stuff. That was real cute. Miles and Karen, so he on the camera, he was saying, you gonna see our first little fight or whatever. He keeps calling her a cougar and calling her old. I mean, like, she's 30 years old. He's 26. Both of y'all are not that old. So, like, but she's older than him. And it's bothering her that he keeps calling her a cougar and stuff. But he is taking it as a joke. And then he's saying, like, she's seasoned and all this other stuff. And then so she joked back and was saying, like, did you ask your mama for a permission slip to come on this honeymoon and stuff like that? So they were kind of joking and jobbing each other back there. But he was like, well, look, I'm mature and stuff like that. I got benefits and stuff because you was trying to get on my health care plan. She was like, yeah, because I was trying to save me some money. So I was like, you better, girl. But anyway, then we see not Amelia. What is that girl name? Olivia and Brett. And they're talking about, have they seen anybody in the group on Tinder? Both of them said no. Then we found out that he was engaged, and she was kind of shocked that he was engaged, but he said that was a long time ago, and that's when we found out that was the one who cheated on him. But she's just still trying to get information on him, trying to get to know him as far as how he is in a relationship and stuff like that. That was it. I already told you about how they talked about that. Then we see Karen, Miles, Woody, and Amani. They're on an excursion. They toast the black love. Karen is saying, like, she loves how they're vibing and stuff like that. And Amani says, yeah, it's like scarily good that, you know, I want him to touch me and stuff like that, and I usually don't want people to touch me. I don't usually want to be around people and stuff. And she's saying, like, he's just making her feel real comfortable. Miles is saying he wishes he had that connection with Karen. So that's like, that's why I really feel like he's just doing stuff to please her and stuff, and it's not really fulfilling him. Which is not a good combination. He calls her a cougar, and then they're like, that is not okay. Like, stop calling that girl a cougar. Like, a cougar is not a good term. And then he was like, what about my sugar mama? They was like, no, that's your wife. Like, don't do that. Like, no. And Karen was like, thank you. That's what I keep trying to tell him. And she's saying, like, it's bothering her. And my thing is, if it's bothering you that much, where it might close you off, because Karen looked like the person that will close off just like that. She needs to tell him before it gets worse or whatever like that. They going on a speedboat ride. What was it? Miles said he wanted to, not Miles. Woody said he wanted to see how Amani reacts on the speedboat, how she reacts when she's scared, having good a time and stuff like that. They had a blast on that speedboat. It looked like it was fun. It really did look like it was fun. We talked about Karen and Miles. They was vibing after the speedboat and stuff like that. They talked about the relationships. I told you she asked them about how he was in monogamous relationships and stuff like that. He was saying, like, on the flip side, you being in less relationships could be a problem to me because you don't have that experience and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, and I understand that, but I know it's going to take some time, and communications is key. And if I'm doing something wrong, I want you to call me out on it. And so they kind of agreed to that. And then she kept saying, like, how she wasn't ready at 26 to be married and stuff like that. So she's still trying to figure out why he would want to be in that relationship and stuff. But you can't compare what he's ready for to what you weren't ready for and stuff like that, because y'all two different people. Christina and Henry, they going in this little town. It looked weird because it was like this deep ass hill or whatever, and then it looked like they would fall. It was giving me real bad vertigo, but it was just weird. And they was going into like this mud thing. They go on a trampoline, child. He act like he ain't never been, well, no, I shouldn't say act like. He ain't never been on a trampoline, so he was feeling kind of weird about that. The place that they went to, it was like in this cave, so it was like if you got claustrophobia, asthma, epilepsy, skin sensitivity, like, don't get in there. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna go in here, but I'm kind of scared, but I'm gonna do it for you type thing. So he went in there. He wouldn't put his head in there. She was like, well, why you didn't put your head? He was like, I don't know. It was just gross. Like, he don't like being dirty, child. But because he was saying, like, my muscles is all tense and stuff. And she was like, yeah, because you wasn't relaxed in it. Like, you supposed to just relax and float. He was like, I don't understand how you was floating in that. But they looked like they had a good time. And they was actually kind of talking. So I was like, whoo, praise them. Then we see Amelia and Bennett, they playing chess. The main thing about this situation or this interaction between them two was she was saying like she has moved a lot. He says he hasn't moved a lot, and he was asking her like, well, why did you move a lot? And she was like, well, I was in med school, then I had to move, and then I was doing this, and I had to move, and then I may have to move for my residency, and y'all know that word, I cannot get that. I don't know why I struggle with that word, but she was saying like she's gonna have to move for that, and then she may have to move for a job. And so he was taking it all in. He was just like, okay. And so then he was like, well, after you move for your job and stuff like that, do you see yourself settling in? Child, she did not answer that question. She started focusing on that chess game and stuff. And I was like, that's going to be a problem, because I don't think she is the type that likes to settle down in one place. And Bennett seems like he is the type of person that wants to, settle down in one place. She seems like she's a gypsy, and she kind of just moved, all over. Like, because she says she moves like every couple years or something like that. He is not. I think he's just been in New Orleans. I'm not 100% sure, but he doesn't seem like he likes to move, like uproot and all the other stuff a lot. So that might be a problem, y'all. But I feel her. Like, I don't really like to stay in the same place too long either. Like, I bought this house and I was kind of figuring out like, why did I do that? Because I like to get up and kind of like, if the scenery get on my nerves, I like to like, all right, y'all, let's pack up. Let me just not sign this rental agreement and just move on. But you buy a house and you gotta do all these extra steps. Like, come on now. I'm like, why did I do this to myself? But at some point in your life, you gotta settle down. And I don't think Amelia is at that step where she just wants to settle down. I think she likes to like live it up, see the world and stuff like that. So like I said, that might be a problem. We see Olivia and Bennett. They doing like this little obstacle course. Whoever wins, if Brett, I said Olivia and Bennett. Olivia and Brett. These B words, child. Olivia and Brett. If he won, she had to take some shots. If she won, he had to rub her feet. He ended up winning, but he got blisters all on his hands from the monkey bars, child. I was just like, oh my goodness. But it was cute. They had like a little cute moment and stuff like that. The part that was significant here is she does not see kids in her future. She says she never seen herself having children or settling down with having kids and stuff like that. He wants to have kids, and if his partner is not 100% in on having kids, then he's not going to have them. So I don't know. That's going to be a problem too, because he was just like, his face lit up when he started talking about kids and taking care of his nieces and nephews and stuff. And she was just like, well, I'm not in a rush, so if I don't have kids, I don't have kids, like whatever. Like, and he's like, okay, so that's gonna be an issue there. What else? I think that was it as far as big topics. Then we see, like I said, he had blisters. Everybody's going to bed. Miles and Karen want to sleep in the hammocks. I thought that was real cute and real sexy, and I cannot wait to do something like that, because I have slept in a hammock before. That's some good sleep. Let me tell you, that's a good nap on the beach. But I have not slept overnight in a hammock, so I'm ready to do that. She was game. She is concerned about his maturity, but she is saying like she's going to, still go with the process and stuff like that. Amani and Woody, they were just kind of cuddling, and he was saying like sex has been a huge part in prior relationships, but he's not focused on that right now. So that was really good. And that was pretty much it for the episode. Next week's episode looks like it's gonna be a little bit more intense, like some more serious things are gonna come out, which is good. That's what we need to kind of be at. But like I said earlier in this review, I enjoyed the episode. I like the chemistry that we are seeing and some of the couples. Like I said, I just wish Henry and Christina, I don't know, I don't really think, and I don't want to say anything bad about nobody's relationship, but I just don't see it, because I don't like Christina right now is being patient and is willing to be the aggressor, but I don't think she wants to be the aggressive person. Like, I think she wants to have her man or her spouse be that person, that be that aggressor, be that person to take the lead and stuff like that. And Henry, he not that. He not that. He not that. But anyway, y'all let me know, because I done talked too goddamn much on this goddamn episode and this review. But I enjoyed this episode. So y'all let me know what y'all felt about the episode down there in the comments. And if y'all like this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do good giveaways around here. We cut up. We have a good old time. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.